Welcome to Music She Missed, the podcast where I try to get my best friend caught up on some of the most popular songs and artists that impact our lives. I'm Alison.
Hi, my name is Rachel, and I missed all the music.
And Rachel, you and I have been friends for a long time.
Very long time.
And this podcast is fun because, you get to learn more about music, which you don't know very, very much about. And we also get to learn more about each other as friends. So my question for you this week to start the show is, how do you feel about dancing?
Well, so you know a little bit about my dancing lifestyle
Which is non-existent.
Non-existent, because I don't go out dancing all the time. But before we got married, you and a friend decided to teach me and my husband, Paul, how to swing dance.
A little bit, like basic.
A basic couple steps, this and that. And
for a first dance.
You went really extensive on just helping me out. I was so excited. I was going to have something that I was going to dance on our first dance. And then our first dance came along, and we didn't even do the steps. It was like...
I was so mad sitting at the edge of the dance floor, waiting for you guys to show off your rhythm keeping and the little turns we taught you, and then you just did the sixth grade sway.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit sad.
Disappointing. Yes. Well, I was still very glad that you got to join me, stand next to me on my wedding day. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, sorry. I forgot. I had a brain freeze. Whoopsies.
It's okay.
So, I know you like swing. Tell me a little bit how you got into that. I can't remember that. Remind me.
Into dancing?
Well, yeah, dancing, swing.
So, growing up, I was an awful dancer. My friends in high school voted me the worst dancer out of my group of friends.
Oh my gosh,
I was
really?
I was like Elaine from Seinfeld with the thumbs. I was terrible.
That is lame.
Even in college, one girl came up to me at a formal dance, and she said, "I like watching you dance. You're so cute because you're so stiff." Which is really embarrassing, but I did have some friends that took me swing dancing, and I started taking lessons, and I started from scratch, but I took the time to practice every week, to go out, to get better, and to learn, and so I really got to develop that skill and learn how to express myself through music. So now I feel like I'm a very confident dancer.
You are.
And my husband and I had a great choreographed first dance
at
our wedding. And he took some coaching too to get ready for it. But I do love to dance, and I do love to react to music and to express the emotions and the feelings in the music through physical movement.
That's really cool.
So I wanted to bring up dancing because our artist for this week is...
Am I going out dancing?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, we can, but our artist this week is a well-known dancer and is often known for her signature dance moves.
Oh, I have no clue who you're talking about. Okay,
well, that's good.
I'm excited.
Okay, let's do the drum roll and we'll do the big reveal.
Here we go. Let's do it.
It's Beyonce.
I know who that is.
Good. Okay, well, let's talk about Beyonce. What do you know about her?
She is a woman who is married to Jay-Z.
Correct.
They have a little girl.
They do.
That's named Blue Ivy.
Yes, that is correct.
She sings a song called The Single Ladies.
Yeah.
But she was married when she sang that song.
I believe so.
So that just, whatever, it confused me. I'm like, why are you talking about single ladies? You're not a single lady.
Because he put a ring on it.
Yeah, he did. I think that might be the only song I know from her.
That's a big one, so that's understandable. Do you know anything else about her? How she got famous? What she's been up to since then? Or
she's from a group.
Songs? Yes, that's right.
Not
90s group.
TLC?
No.
But that is a 90s group, right?
It is, but it's the wrong one.
Okay. I want to guess, but I feel like it's going to be wrong.
Well, it's okay. Before I give you any more information.
Is it Destiny's Child?
It is Destiny's Child. Oh! Yeah, she was in Destiny's Child. That's exactly right. And then when she went solo, then she's just Beyonce. So.
Okay, yeah, Beyonce. That's all she's known as, Beyonce.
Yeah.
She's not has a last name to her being
She has a last name.
Well, yeah, she has a last name, but
there's no other Beyoncés where people are like, which Beyonce are you talking about?
Okay.
There's just the one. So I'm going to list off some of the other songs.
Okay.
And we can play the little game. If you know it, you don't have to sing it or anything. Just tell me if you know it.
I have some confidence on this.
Yeah, I do too. I
Okay.
think you're going to do well. If you don't know it, just say pass. Okay?
All right, I can do it.
Here we go. Crazy in Love.
Pass.
Okay. Irreplaceable.
Oh, pass.
What if I said to the left, everything you own in a box?
Oh.
To the left.
I think I know that song.
Okay.
Okay, then why didn't we call it To the Left Song?
Because that's not the name of the song.
Well, I want to rename it.
Okay. Run the World.
Pass. Wow, I thought I was going to be confident this week.
No, it's okay. Drunk in Love.
Pass. Wow.
Partition.
Pass.
Formation.
Single Ladies.
Okay,
Yay,
so
I know
you know
that
Single
one.
Ladies. That's great. And you might know some Destiny's Child songs too. They did Survivor, Jumpin', Say My Name.
Oh, I know Say My Name.
Yeah.
And I think I know Survivor. I am a survivor. I am a fighter.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So it seems like you know a little bit about Beyonce.
I was kind of hoping a little bit more, but oh well.
Well, that's okay. I mean,
I
you might
missed all
listen.
the music, I guess.
You did miss so much. But I think when you listen to it, you know, the title doesn't always give you the best impression of the song. So you might listen to the track and go, oh, I've heard this. So you might know a few more.
I just didn't know it was her, though.
Right. And that's normal for this show.
Okay.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you didn't even know it was a thing, and 10 being she's your favorite artist in the world, where would you rate your current familiarity with Beyonce Knowles?
I'm going to give her, probably a 6.
Okay.
I think it's a little bit higher because I do like the Single Ladies song. It's a fun song. It's dancing.
Okay.
But I was kind of shocked that I didn't know as many songs when you were kind of listing them off. So that's why I didn't give a higher number. But I think 6 is an encouraging number. So yeah, I'm 6.
That sounds good. Well, you know the gist of what's coming up next.
I've got some homework to do.
Yeah. So I've made you a Beyonce playlist.
Yeah.
Listen to it every day for a week.
Yep. And it's at about an hour's worth of music at Spotify /user music she missed.
That's right. So audience, we'll be back with you in just a moment. And Rachel, I'll see you in a week. Enjoy listening to Beyonce. Welcome back. Rachel, you spent the last week listening to Beyonce.
I did. I enjoyed this week, but also I learned a lot about myself and also more about music.
Okay. Well, I look forward to exploring those things with you.
Sure.
Why don't we start by talking a little bit more about Beyonce's background?
Sure. Let's do it.
I know you know a little bit already. But she's from Houston, so she talks about H-Town in some of her songs. And she started singing at a very early age in talent shows and those kinds of things. And as she developed more as a musician and started getting contracts and stuff with Destiny's Child, which we've already talked about, she was managed by her father. So one of my friends is really into Beyonce, and she gave me some extra tidbits to bring up in this episode. And one of the things that she said was that her father used to make her run a mile on the treadmill in heels so that she would get used to performing without being exhausted.
1 mile on a treadmill?
In heels, I think, is the main point.
My curiosity is how high were those heels?
Just the idea of running on a treadmill in heels at all.
Heels alone is just yeah.
Yeah.
So
she was only 16 when they formed Destiny's Child with her friends. And we talked about some of those hit songs already. They had a lot of hits. Destiny's Child could have their own episode.
Yes.
That's how many. I couldn't fit Destiny's Child songs in with how many hits Beyonce has to give you a feel of them. So maybe we'll do them at some point. So her musical style is mostly R&B, but it includes some pop, some funk influences, and more hip-hop as well. In 2001, she started acting, and she was in Austin Powers' Gold Member. Do you remember that movie? It's like one of the sequels
Yeah.
to Austin Powers.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Okay.
But I didn't even know she was in it. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of role did she...
She was like the Austin Powers version of the Bond girl, you know?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. She later was in The Pink Panther with Steve Martin. She was also in Dreamgirls.
And she had a bigger role in the Dreamgirls.
Yeah, which is loosely based on Aretha Franklin's life. So she was also in another movie based on Etta James' life called Cadillac Records in 2008. So she's been doing some film work.
The vast majority of the film work that she does, she also does singing within those movies.
Right, they're musically themed movies, exactly. So her first solo album was released in 2003, and that's where our playlist starts. And that first album sold millions of copies and had 5 Grammys.
Were they kind of surprised with that? Would they?
I don't think so, because Destiny's Child was
so successful,
very popular, right? And Destiny's Child remained a group for 2 more years
after she did solos.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
And then they broke up, and then the next year, in 2006, is when her second album came out.
Okay, and so the other girls from Destiny's Child really don't sing beyond.
They haven't attained the level of fame that she has. No. Since then, she's had 4 more albums, and unfortunately only 3 of them are on your playlist because she, together with her husband Jay-Z, own a music streaming site called Tidal. And it is like subscription only, and that's where you can hear her latest album, which is called Lemonade, and it's her most critically acclaimed album. Supposedly it's like the best thing that she's made.
Where else can I find it other than that app?
You can buy it.
Oh, okay.
I know, paying for music in this day and age. But that's why, you know, she and Jay-Z together are worth like $500 million. So,
yeah, they're very wealthy.
At least.
Power couple.
Yes, definitely a power couple. Yeah, so she was the first woman to have her first 5 studio albums debut at #1.
Wow.
So
first woman.
To have that particular accomplishment. And her 5th album, which is just called Beyonce, that album, nobody knew it was coming. She just released it on iTunes.
So there was no like ramp up of
no. It was just
marketing or...
Right. One day in December 2013, you opened up iTunes and there was a new Beyonce album, and everybody kind of went crazy. There was no announcement. There was no promotion.
How did they keep it secret?
I don't know.
Because like
paying people off, I suspect.
Production of a CD album is huge.
And not just that, but the music videos, because it was, you know, all these music videos came out at the same time. So people probably had to sign their life away and like, you know, secret.
They're lawyers.
Yes, exactly. When you're worth $500 million, you can probably afford some pretty good lawyers. As of 2 years ago, Jay-Z and Beyonce together had sold a combined 300 million records.
300 million records?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Not to mention, she performed at the Obama's inaugural ball and at the presidential inauguration.
I can't remember if you said this to me last week, but you're saying that Jay-Z and Beyonce's bigger than Jay-Z?
I kind of feel like she is.
Okay. Why? Because of how many records she's done? How much she's been involved with? The voice that she is?
She's just really popular.
Yeah.
I mean, Jay-Z is also huge. I'm not saying that
that's why they're a power couple.
Exactly.
Okay.
I think that it's just like her fame has just gone even past what people expected. She herself doesn't want to just be a pop star. She wants to be an icon, you know? And it seems like she's been achieving that. Awards-wise, she's won 20 Grammy Awards, both solo and with Destiny's Child. She's also got 24 MTV Video Music Awards because she's the most awarded artist in music video award history.
More than anyone else.
More than anyone else. And when you see her videos, you can see why, because they're very powerful.
We got to see some videos together earlier this week, and I could tell her videos are what a production. They her voice in itself as the videos.
Exactly.
Beyond her music.
Exactly. And a lot of times, not just the dancing and the music, but also the images and the messages that she tries to get across through her videos are really important.
So I know that Jay-Z and Beyonce are together and how much they probably influence each other. But also, what are some other influences that Beyonce has?
Okay, so one cool story that I found is that she actually saw Michael Jackson perform when she was 5 years old.
Wow.
And that made a big impact on her. And I mean, Michael Jackson's music has affected lots of people, but she's no exception. Other big female artists like Diana Ross, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Aaliyah, those are also musically influences on her. And she has a 4-octave voice range.
Wow.
So she can do some amazing things with her voice.
Wow. So Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey. So has she collaborated anything with Mariah Carey?
Not that I found.
But she's influenced by her.
Right.
Wow.
I mean, Mariah Carey, Beyonce is around our age, so she probably grew up listening to
Mariah Carey.
These artists, yeah.
Okay.
But she has influenced a lot of people as well.
Really? Please elaborate.
Well, Adele claims her as an influence.
Okay.
Lady Gaga, Ariana Grande, Rihanna, Meghan Trainor, Grimes, Ellie Goulding.
Okay, I know just a few of those. I don't know all
Well,
of them.
few's pretty good.
Well, I know them by name, too. But I know one.
Okay.
Adele.
Yeah, well, we did that episode already. So she has influenced a lot of people. But what I'm really curious about is how she influenced you. I want to know what you thought about her music. What songs did you like? What songs did you not like?
Okay, so there are a few songs that I really knew I was going to like. Like, I liked The Single Ladies beforehand because I heard of that song, but I actually even fell more in love with it. I like the beat, I like the movement, and I like watching the music video because she is a great dancer.
And that song is very catchy.
It is, and it's a very dancey, fun song. I liked Halo. Like, I loved hearing her voice where she had so much control, and it is beautiful. She has a beautiful voice.
I agree that that song really accentuates her skill as a singer.
Very much so. And it, for me, who was trying to sing along, showed how much I need to get better in my voice control. Because I would be like, I cannot do what she is doing.
If you could, you would be a billionaire.
Yeah, so I tried with that song, but I could not get through that whole song singing with her. But I tried.
Okay.
If I Were a Boy, I liked that one too. I liked how it was soft, and it really just, I loved her voice in that one too.
That's a nice
Not as
one.
much as Halo, but I liked that one as well. There are some things that I actually, it's not that I disliked some of her songs, but there were some songs that I just didn't prefer.
Okay.
And it may have been because of how the things that I'm learning in myself that I'm not a big fan of rapping.
You're really going to hate some of our future episodes then.
I'm so excited, said with sarcasm. So I don't like Nicki Minaj's song. That was not...
You didn't like the Flawless remix.
Yeah.
That's okay. There's 2 versions of Flawless. You can listen to the one without Nicki Minaj in it.
Yeah. So another one was Baby Boy. I wasn't the biggest fan. It wasn't.
So you don't like Sean Paul either?
I didn't like, honestly, once I started listening to the songs and then noting which ones I didn't like, I looked back and I was like, oh, those are the ones that had more guest singers. I like more Beyonce than the mix of the 2 different voices.
Does that include when Jay-Z is rapping on the song?
Yeah.
Okay.
It does.
So you really just kind of like her
songs, opposed to her sharing songs.
You didn't like as much the hip hop feel with the guest rappers and that kind of stuff.
And that's where I really learned a little bit about myself and what my ear was attuned to.
That's interesting. Now, do you think it's maybe because you just don't have as much exposure to that kind of music, and so it's a little bit more jarring than just listening to like a woman singing a song?
Bingo.
Okay.
So I found that throughout the beginning of the first of the week, where I was just like, that's why I wasn't liking it. was because I wasn't used to it. But as I went through the week, I could tell there were some more reasons. I was just really loving her voice. The reason why I really like the song Halo, her voice is just so beautiful.
It shines in that.
Where, sorry, Nicki. Sorry, Jay-Z. You're not Beyonce.
So, do you have any other questions for me about Beyonce?
Yes. So, watching some of her videos, listening to some of her music, I'm kind of curious about her fashion sense.
Okay.
She's a gorgeous lady, and the sense of where's her fashion coming from? Herself, influence of others? I don't know. Does Jay-Z dress her?
So I think it's probably a combination.
Of Jay-Z dressing her?
No. So she has a stylist.
Okay.
For sure.
That's good.
But she also has her own clothesline of fitness wear.
Really?
Which is kind of neat.
That is kind of cool.
But I would suspect that a lot of the things that she wears, especially, well, on her own for sure, but in the videos even, she probably has a lot of say because she's a really confident woman, and a lot of her messages and her quotes and what she says in her songs are about being empowered as a woman and being confident in who you are and not trying to change. In 2008, she adopted her stage persona, which was I Am Sasha Fierce. And you saw that in the album title. But it's like her alter ego. But as she's grown as a woman and she's become more empowered and confident in herself, she's dropped that.
I wonder if that's because now she's a mom.
Maybe. I know that motherhood, is a very empowering thing, a defining thing. But, she has a very strong message of feminism. And in the song Flawless, not the Nicki Minaj version, but the other version, it has a really strong message.
Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So she is a feminist. And she quoted a speech in that song that says, "We should all be feminists." And I hope I get this author's name right, a Nigerian author. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. That's my best guess.
That's a good one.
She did a TED Talk, and Beyonce sampled that TED Talk in that song. And you can hear those quotes in the song like, we tell girls that they should aim to be successful, but not too successful. Or they should aim to be married, but how come we don't give boys the same aspiration? That kind of message of equality is something that you see in this song, in Run the World, in a lot of her music, and a lot of her videos are about encouraging girls and women to be who they are, to be confident, to be strong.
I do really like Beyonce's sense of how she takes her voice and encourages confidence. And so these are some things that I really want to see in this upcoming generation, including the one that my daughter is in. So I'm excited for her and what she can do with her voice.
That's really cool. She also does speak out about the police brutality that's happening now in our nation and the Black Lives Matter movement. You can see that in her latest videos for Formation and Freedom.
And that's in her Lemonade album.
Correct.
Okay.
Additionally, she supports lots of charities. There's one called the Survivor Foundation that she founded with another Destiny's Child member. And it was to help the victims of Hurricane Katrina. Since she's from Houston, a lot of people in that part of the country experience a lot of negative effects from that. She also works with a lot of anti-hunger organizations, including Feeding America and the Houston Food Bank. So once again, pouring back into her city, where she's from, and giving back.
That's really generous of her, and I like that about her. That's very sweet.
Yeah, I like that too. So we've talked a little bit about Beyonce's background. We've talked about her music, her songs, and her message. What's your opinion of Beyonce? You're going to rate it 1 to 10, 1 being you want to throw it in the garbage, 10 being she's your new all-time fave.
I know I rated a 6 earlier last week.
Well, that was a familiarity rating.
But also, even after getting to know her this week, how much I would want to put her on my playlist in the future, I'm kind of surprised that I'm not giving her as high of a rating as I am.
Okay, well, so what rating are you giving her?
I'm going to give her a 7.
A 7? Well, that's pretty good. You would listen to some of these songs again, maybe look into some of her music, maybe the more vocal solos,
Yes.
the style of her music that you like.
Yeah, stuff that it's just her though.
Yeah.
Not her collaboration stuff. I really like seeing the beauty of her own voice. I think she's very talented, and if I could ever get Halo song perfect like she can, wow, I would be very excited.
You'd get a lot of applause at karaoke.
Yeah, I would.
All right, Rachel. Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed your Beyonce week.
I did.
And I'm looking forward to exploring more music with you in the future as you discover what things you like and you don't like, and you're kind of developing your own musical style.
That's something I really am benefiting out of this podcast. I'm understanding what I like and what I don't like, and I'm kind of shocking myself a little bit, so I'm kind of excited to see what else I'm going to discover.
You know, it seems like you thought maybe you would like pop a little bit more than you actually do.
Bingo! You were such a good friend to notice that.
So far. And we have a lot more pop to get into, and you might find some artists you like more than others. But so far it seems like just because something is popular doesn't mean you like it.
Yeah.
And that's a cool thing to discover.
And that's something that I've just never dove into. I've just never really gotten into music because I've really missed so much. Join us on our social media feeds at Facebook with @MusicSheMissed, at Twitter @MusicSheMissed, and rate us on iTunes.
Don't forget to subscribe as well. You can also follow all the playlists that I make on Spotify by searching Spotify:/user:/Music She Missed.
Thanks so much for joining us this week. We look forward to having you next week.
Bye!
Bye!